Prospecting during the summer can be really tough, right? So many prospects are taking vacation, and then also you get a lot of out-of-office messages. But it's okay. And instead of worrying about what we can control, let's focus on what we can do. After 5 years of prospecting and being the top performer at 4 different tech companies, I've learned a few tips to prospect during the summer. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 tips to help you prospect during the summer and help you beat the slowdown. Tip number 1, reach out to low-hanging fruits. Low-hanging fruits, they are those prospects who are easier to book a meeting with. The first one, contact customers who have changed jobs. You see, 20% of prospects change jobs every year, making them ideal champions for your product. Here's why. Those prospects might say yes to a meeting because they already use your product. And now you might be wondering where you can find your prospect who left your current customer account. You can go on Sales Now, and then you go to Lead Filters, and then you add to past company your customers. So I'm going to take an example for me. Printify and Vestiaire Collective. And then the next thing you need to do also is exclude those two from the current company. I forgot to mention, in the past company, you include your customers. And then to the current company filter, you want to exclude them, because if you don't, you are going to see all the prospects that have been promoted, but also left the company. And you want to exclude those who have been promoted, they are still the company. And then my next step will be look for my persona. And so because I'm selling to data leaders, I'm going to look for data and intelligence as keywords. And now I have a list of 38 people that I can go after. So those prospects worked at one of my current customer and then left to a new company. And so generally they already use the product, and so that's easier to start a conversation with them. Next, you can focus on close lost opportunities. Close lost opportunities, they are those opportunities that your company lost in the past. So it can be not the right timing, no budget, for example. So they're also here a really great way to get low-hanging fruit. And for me, that's one of my favorite ones, because generally they are easy also to start a conversation with, because you know that they have a pain, and then you can leverage that. And what you can do with those is you can use your CRM, whatever you're using, Salesforce, HubSpot, or another one. But you can create a report and then look for those opportunities. Then find the information, for example, that why they say no, it's 6 months ago or 3 months ago. And then let's talk about no-shows. For those prospects specifically, your goal is to get an answer, a yes or no. So to get a reply, you can use this template, but also add your prospect to your no-show sequence. So for example, it could be something like, hi, first name, have you given up on fixing the problem your solution solves? Not a problem at all if you want to put this on ice for a bit. And the last one is the follow-ups. So generally in my inbox, I will find a lot of timing objections or prospect replied, but for example, I did not reply. So I check my inbox to find those prospects I did not reply. For those prospects that give you a timing objection, generally I use labels on Gmail, but also I use reminder to have a notification when I need to follow up with my prospects. These are the 5 different ways you can leverage low-hanging fruits. Number 1, contact previous customers. Number 2, close lost opportunities. Number 3, contact no-shows. And the last one, contact previous replies or timing objections, for example. Tip number 2, ranking your accounts. When you don't have low-hanging fruits anymore, you need to identify other triggers. For me, I use 3 triggers. So number 1 is company who are still hiring. I use 2 tools for that. I use peersignal.org, but also I use LinkedIn. And because right now with this current market, you want to make sure your prospect accounts are still hiring, and the company who is hiring, it means that they might have budget for your solution. The second trigger you can think about also is new executives at your prospect accounts. So reaching out to new executives, it's also interesting because new executives generally are more open to new ideas. And the last one that I'm checking is the prospect who are following my account on LinkedIn. So I go on Sales Now and I check the followers of my company page. And then I'm looking for the prospects who fit my buyer personas. And then I contact them because those prospects who already follow your company, they are more also that they already know your company, so it's easier also to start a conversation. Tip number 3, stop thinking that no one is going to reply. I know it's the summer and you might feel that no one's going to reply, but remember, if you don't reach out, someone else will, and that could be your competitor. Tip number 4, send emails to get out of office messages. The idea here is you want to send relevant messages to your prospects. And if you get the out of office message, for example, you want to follow up when your prospect will be back, and you can use a different subject line. For example, if you don't get a reply. Also, you can send follow-up emails to emails that you sent before the summer to get out of office messages. But remember, the goal here is not to spam your prospects, is add value. Tip number 5. Now let's talk about how you can leverage those out of office messages. Even if your prospect doesn't reply immediately, you can still get value from those messages. So I think the first one is you will get the contact information of your prospect. Sometimes you will find the right email address because even though you have an email, you don't have the right one. Second one is the phone number of your prospect. Another thing you can use also, you will get the name of the colleagues or the boss, for example. So you can map the account and you can see the structure of the team. And also you can get the contact information of those prospects. And the last thing you can find also on those messages, sometimes your prospect, they will be personal on those messages. So you might get some information about, for example, their trip with their family to New York. And that's something you can leverage in your next touch point with this prospect. And it shows that you read the message. Tip number 6, adjusting your goals. At the beginning of Q3, I shared a newsletter to explain how you can adjust your goals based on the season or the quarter. So, and I'm going to share the link in the description if you want to read it. It's important to revisit your goals during this quarter because you need to adjust them if necessary. Because if you're feeling bad, you will need to change your strategy. Last tip number 7, front load the season. This tip is for the next summer or the next season holiday. That's something you can think about before the season starts because you want to front load your activities before that, for example, August starts and that you know that you will get less replies. So by front loading your months, August, for example, or December, you will get more results before those months because we know they're tough months, but by front loading your months, you will get more replies, but also more meetings. That's it for today. Hope you find those 7 tips useful to help you prospect during the summer slowdown. And here's another video that you can watch right now to help you improve your prospecting skills. Thanks for watching.